town's prosperity. The hustle and bustle of merchants, artisans and tradesmen filled the streets of Burra.
The deeper the mines went at Burra, the more water they encountered, so they needed a means of pumping it out. A massive big pump was built in Cornwall. It was brought to Australia in a ship, but then they had to bring it here to Burra, and that took 3 months on this purpose-built jinker. It was made especially to get it from Port Adelaide to here, and they had 72 bullocks hooked up to this, and they started out at the front of it about 6 breast, then they widened right out, and then there were just the 2 leaders right out the front. This was a huge undertaking, and the whole town came out when it arrived here in Burra. It was used again 4 years later when they brought a second one of these up, but that's the only time it was ever used. Today, it sits here, pride of place, in the main street.
A bustling town of 5,000 in dry desert-like surrounds produces a big thirst, so in 1873 the Unicorn Brewery was built, the underground cellars of which are still beneath the town. Powered by steam engines and pumps, the brewery produced both beer and stout. It also had a cooperage to make its own barrels. The Commercial is one of the many hotels that catered to the town's needs. It stands almost unaltered since the 1870s when it was a local meeting place. When the remote southern tip of York Peninsula was mostly ignored by the pioneers until William Innes discovered commercial quantities of gypsum in the area in 1900. The Innes National Park today is easy to reach. Dotted along the roadside, skeletal remnants.
And that's what caused a lot of shipwrecks here. In fact, it feels like I'm in a bit of a gale today. It's very windy.
Is Victoria Square in Kadina on York Peninsula in South Australia. Once every 2 years they have a massive festival here called the Kennewick Luenda, and that's a celebration of the Cornish way of life and the Cornish folk that settled this area. It's the largest Cornish festival in the world, and then Victoria Square is a hive of activity.